In this clip, we're going to fill in color on the engine section of our crop walker. Alright, so we last time filled in a lot of this white paint, so now we're going to switch over to a different palette and start filling in the reds. So let's get to our polygon fill tool again. I'll switch over to the object fill for now because we got a lot of objects in here. And I'm going to pick from our palette just a base red. I'm going to use this on these struts here. Okay. And on the other side. And then on this intersection, I'm going to fill this one. And fill that. I don't want things to blend together too horribly. Take a look at this other side. Go ahead and fill. Yeah, I think that may be enough. I'll get a little bit more gray in here just to clash a little bit. But before we do that, we'll take this and let's fill these. And I'm going to do a little bit of a darker red. And I'm going to use that on this inner ridge just to highlight that and act as sort of a shadow. So let's switch over to our UV fill tool. Perfect. Love it when that happens. Makes it so easy. Okay. Let's put some red up here as well. Go back to the object fill tool. Okay. And I'm going to get a darker red on some of these pipes. So let's do these ones. Whoop. And we'll do some of them in more of a gray. Let's fill this one with that darker gray. We'll go a little lighter. Fill in some of these pieces so they don't blend in completely. I'm going to do my bolts in that gray as well. Make them pop out a little more. So many little things to click on. Alright. Let's check the other side. Oh, we got more. Let's fill that. So many bolts. Now if I was smart, and I actually had intended to do this, but it just slipped my mind, I would have had all of these on one UV. As you can see, I've got these duplicated, but really every single bolt here could be its own UV. There's no need to have that many. Just a oversight on my part, but next time. Live and learn. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit lighter gray. Oop, not on the bolt yet. On those. Darken that gray down a little bit to get these bolts. They're a little tricky to get in here, so I'm going to pull out, come way over and see if I can find this. And that is why we have this exploded section, just to make it easier so you can see stuff like this, not accidentally click on things you don't mean to. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead actually and do these rails underneath that gray as well. So what are we missing? Looks like we got some polys here. Let's lighten it up again, just a little bit lighter. Get that. Alright, I'm going to switch back to my brush so it turns off these polys. Let's see how I feel about that. Yeah, I'm liking it. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and define things a little bit more now. So kind of like how we did the darker red there, let's go ahead and do a darker gray on this. So we're just going to pull it down a little bit. Not too much, but just enough to give it some highlight. I'll fill those in. Same on the other side. Alright, while we're highlighting grays, let's go ahead and do that to this latch here. Just little details that can make things pop. Don't want to get too crazy, but it can be helpful later on. That looks pretty good. Let's see if we get lucky on the UV fill. Nice. Yeah, little things like that will just make your job easier later as you're actually filling things in. It's just one less thing for you to specifically paint, and it just lends some light and depth to it, which is particularly important to think about when everything's essentially flat shaded. Thankfully, these are duplicated, so I only have to do it once. Once is enough. Okay. See one there. Did I get them all down here? Stragglers. All right. Switch off again. See, when you don't have the wireframe on there, it just helps make some of these things pop so you can see the details just a bit better. Okay. And that is our main fill. Not too bad. I'm happy with that. All right, in this clip, we filled in the color on our engine.